All rise and shout. It's time for What's Trending.
Is BYU going away with a win tonight? And the Cougars take over. And into the end zone! And the Cougars have won it.
BYU Cougars are now 3-0.
What's Trending, presented by Feastbox, donating 10% of every order to Full of Hope, a charitable organization that feeds hungry families. BYU now 3-0. 3-0 for the third time in 4 seasons, by the way.
It's never happened.
Okay, that is a first in BYU football history. With the most recent victory over Arkansas. So, looking at the win against the Razorbacks, how does that change the expectations of what we think and all of you think BYU can do over the course of the 2023 season?
Okay, before the season, I thought Arkansas was a loss. So now that it's a win, that certainly makes me feel like 2 things are going to happen. 1, BYU's going to a bowl game. Not worried about it now. Like, that was in question even after 2-0. I was like, okay, how's this going to work if you don't win at Arkansas and then you play at Kansas? BYU's going to win 3 of the next 9. Like, if BYU just is crappy the rest of the year, they could go 3-6 and still make a bowl game. That's happening. So the 7 mark for wins certainly feels much better. In fact, you know, FPI is saying, hey, look at the 6-win percentage. That went up significantly after the Arkansas game from 25 to 63%. So that's exciting. I feel like 7+ wins is in the mix. And let's be honest, the fact that BYU started 3-0, that they got probably the second toughest road win on the schedule as a dub, Texas being the toughest, you certainly feel like, hey, who knows, maybe 8+ is possible. But I'll get to this in a minute, I am stoked that BYU is 3-0 and very flawed. The fact that they have climbed through the adversity and still been undefeated in one of the toughest games is very exciting. I cannot wait. But ESPN FPI does not look favorable on BYU the rest of the year. But I don't really care because I don't believe some of the numbers. I just don't.
Well, let's take a look at those numbers. And you tell us, are these fair projections for BYU?
A few are not.
Okay. BYU given a almost 44% chance to win at Kansas. Okay, that's pretty favorable.
I think that's fair. This is sort of a pick-a-mish game. I think this is a matchup of 2 good teams.
But BYU
2 top 40 teams.
Is a home underdog to Cincinnati.
That one's weird.
Come on.
Given the loss to Miami of Ohio last week for the Bearcats.
At TCU, 26%,
that
whatever.
Makes sense to me.
That probably feels fair. Home to Texas Tech, just a 37% chance to win that game.
Yeah, Texas Tech getting a lot of love still. Lost at Wyoming, right? Lost to Oregon at home. Those are Wyoming hung with Texas, so certainly maybe Cowboys better than you think. BYU beat that same Cowboys team last year, by the way.
At Texas, 7% chance. They're the 3rd-ranked team in the country.
That makes sense.
That's on the road. We get that. At West Virginia.
That one's weird, dude.
39%?
I know West Virginia's 2-1. The one loss is to Penn State. 39.
Okay. These aren't odds makers. This is a computer metric. Okay. So if it were odds makers, I'd understand that one a little bit more because they're looking at BYU having to travel 2 time zones. Maybe it's an early game. BYU hasn't fared particularly well in those type of contests. But this is a computer metric. Iowa State is a wreck right now. An absolute wreck.
Why is that one just 50?
BYU's given a 54% chance to beat a team that scored 7 points in a loss on Saturday against who, Jarom? A world beater?
In South Alabama.
No.
And at West Virginia, we don't know the time of the game yet, by the way. We don't know it's going to be early. It could be late. Who knows?
8% at home to beat Oklahoma?
Oklahoma looks pretty good on offense.
I know they look great, but 8% in Provo?
And then Oklahoma State is, like you said, that one's ridiculous. So I don't believe several of the numbers there. And that's okay. Let me tell you more about my thoughts on the flawed thing. Okay, let's talk about the good that's going on right now.
So I was going to say,
the bad.
When you say they're very flawed, are you talking specifically on offense?
I'll tell you. Okay. I'll give you numbers. Okay, the good. Turnover margin, +5.
Amazing.
Which is our stat of the day.
It's the BYU Sports Nation stat of the day.
How good is that? 9th in the country. 9th in the country.
You're top 10 in taking the ball away.
7 takeaways and 2 giveaways. This is good. Making timely big plays when needed, like we talked about yesterday. BYU was not crazy amazing in yards, and they weren't yards per play, these kind of things, which I'll get to. But timely, good plays, right? Kingston's pass and receiving touchdown, Tooley's interception, Roberts one-hander, Rex red zone grab, Heckard's forced fumble, 4 sacks. Those are good. LJ Martin's showing us some stuff, right? Safeties have not been a liability. They totally could be. BYU is playing with its 4th, 5th, and 6th safeties right now. Ethan Slade, Crew Wakely got knocked out of the game. Sounds like he's not going to be available this week, maybe next couple of weeks. Ethan Slade's doing a really nice job. Again, no Micah Harper, no Talon Alfrey. Crew Wakely gets knocked out. Malik Moore gets pulled, not injured. He gets pulled from the game because of the punt return situation. Jace Hill's defense has been great. Ryan Rico, #1 active punter in the NCAA right now with his average. The defense only really gave up 21 versus Arkansas. Okay, let me give you 2 numbers that I just barely found that really tell the story of BYU football. Points per play right now.
Okay.
48th nationally. That's good enough. It feels like BYU isn't very good on offense. 48th, .413. But the best one I got for you, Spence. Yards per point. Yards per point. 6th in the country, 10.4. BYU is getting chunks when they score.
Okay.
So yards per play is really good because let's look at the bad. Not running the rock well. BYU is bottom 10 in yards per carry right now, 2.67. That's terrible. It's awful. Not consistently explosive. 7.7 yards per attempt, 68th. 10-plus yard pass plays, 72nd. 20-plus, only 9, 76th. Not great. And then some of the worst stuff. Yards per play on offense, 101st, 5.2. 311 yards per game, 118th. 179 plays is 123rd on offense. BYU's not getting a ton of plays yet. They've been
efficient with a limited number.
They're scoring enough. The yards per attempt's not good enough. The yards per carry is not good enough. But when they are able to produce points with fewer plays, and they're getting lots of yards to get those points. So I applaud BYU. What if BYU starts carrying the rock effectively? What if BYU starts to get more explosive consistently? Now we're talking about a team that can go and beat Kansas, that beats Cincinnati at home, and puff the Magic Dragon. BYU's 5-0 and really interesting inside the top 20. I wish that BYU was playing way better right now, but the fact that they are 3-0 and are very flawed. This gets me excited because I think BYU can still figure out some things to get to that next level.
Okay, you just presented a ton of numbers.
Almost
a lot of numbers.
Too many numbers.
So many numbers flying across the screen right there, and all backing a point that primarily the offense has not been great. But what about the defense and the special teams? Okay, so when you say very flawed, it's fair to say that's primarily on offense,
it's
correct?
Offense. Okay? The only flaw for special teams is to continue to fake and not get it.
Like we have not seen
punt and field goal didn't work.
Hardly anything that made us question special teams this year. We've seen Marcus McKenzie and Ryan Rico do their thing, and now Parker Kingston's coming along as a kickoff return man. Hobbs Nyberg hasn't given away the ball. The special teams have been
just the
awesome.
The 2 fakes.
So how do you overcome flawed offense at times? Field position battle is a massive way to do that, and BYU has one of the best punting teams and one of the best punters in the entire country.
The best punter, Spence.
That can accommodate. That can certainly help push that. Get through some offensive woes. Okay?
Yes, because it's complementary.
You can flip the field. Your offense now, instead of getting the ball at your own 20, you're getting the ball closer to midfield consistently, which is what BYU did against Arkansas.
It was the 39-yard line.
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
Amazing. Right?
BYU only has 5 drives of 70-plus for touchdowns this year. 8 of them have been less than 70.
Jarom, as much as we don't want to admit anything good that happens from the team up north, what did they base everything they did on for years? Good defense and good special teams and just good enough offense.
Can keep you in a game. Once they got when Utah's had a quarterback, they've done something special.
So if BYU can, as you said, turn the corner, maybe start to run the ball a little more effectively and sustain some drives and help keep the defense off the field a little bit longer, give that excellent defense through 3 games a little more rest. Now we're talking about something special. Now we're talking about 7 or 8 wins this season.
And maybe more. If they kick it into gear like we're thinking there is potential for, you're talking about, even more than that. BYU right now is going to lose several games. In fact, 4 or 5 if they continue at this pace. But the fact that they were able to get the Arkansas win, amazing. Can you do that every week? I mean, a play here or there swings the game, right? And BYU made enough plays on offense. And when they do make a play, it's a big play, and it's scoring touchdowns, which is really encouraging. I'm not discouraged by the BYU offense very much right now, despite stinking on yards per carry. Certainly a 45-yarder right here from LJ Martin helps. But the explosive plays down the field, when you get them, I just want consistently more explosive, consistently better success rate on first and second down. And now you're talking about a team that can walk into October, if they crank it up, again, undefeated, and challenge TCU, challenge Texas Tech. Can they compete with Texas? That's what we're talking about.
The formula right now, if nothing changes, and you have excellent special teams, good defense.
I would say it's very good to great right now.
Okay offense. That formula right there is good enough for 7 wins.
It is.
Like, if it just stays, that's good enough for 7 wins.
Yes. They're capable of more.
The offense can boost it up a little bit. And the defense is going to take a hit because you're going to play tougher competition.
Sure.
So if the offense can boost it up, now you're looking at maybe 8 wins. But right now, I'm feeling very, very confident about my projection of 7 wins. There's enough talent on this team to win 7 games and maybe more if special teams defense keep doing their thing and we finally see a breakthrough with the offensive line in the run game.
I think BYU is playing the second most talented offense in the league this week.
That's fair.
I think Texas #1.
Kansas
Their
is
skill
really
positions
good.
are ridiculous. Their O-line is all back. Kansas returns 10 of the 11 starters, and they are stinking.
This could absolutely become a shootout in Lawrence.
Good challenge for the BYU.